So it's the end of the season and it's time for an AccessAdvisr award for football stadium accessibility. During the 2021-22 football season, AccessAdvisr visited 17 of 23 championship grounds, and this is our review of all the grounds as a disabled away fan. We grouped the grounds into 5 categories: not visited, poor, okay, good and very good. Firstly, these were the grounds we were unable to visit this season. Stoke City, Sheffield United, Blackpool, Peterborough United, Birmingham and Hull City. We'll start this review by saying that staff helpfulness was good at all grounds. However, there were 3 grounds that left a lot to be desired and were rated poor in terms of accessibility and inclusion. Millwall was first, and here's why. There was a long journey to the stadium from the transport and we got lost on the way back. We were excluded from sitting with our own fans during the game. And there was no access to the concourse to meet fellow travellers. There was a pitch level view, but it wasn't raised, so we were quite low down. Next up in terms of poor was rated Queen's Park Rangers. We had 3 photographers positioned directly in front of us, and if that was bad, there was worse to come. During the game, the nearest goal and the far side of the pitch were obscured by fans standing, and stewards did nothing to move them away. And the worst ground was Luton Town. It hasn't changed in years. There's been very little investment for disabled people. We had to sit in with the home supporters, which wasn't a problem in itself, but we had obstructions throughout the game, in particular from Sky Sports. We had one chap with his yellow hat on moving up and down, walking in front of us frequently during the game. Now we'll quickly run through the OK and the good grounds. Grounds rated OK were Bristol City, Blackburn Rovers, Preston North End and Coventry City. The good were Nottingham Forest, Cardiff City, Fulham, Barnsley and Reading. And now for the grounds that AccessAdvisr rated as very good. Derby County, Huddersfield Town, Middlesbrough, West Bromwich Albion and Swansea City. Let's have a look first at Swansea City. They had a lift to the accessible platform. There were plenty of accessible toilets and stewards were on hand with radar keys. They had plenty of accessible seating options for disabled home fans around the ground as well. Next up was Derby County. There's a concourse that was open for all, so very inclusive. They had 1 accessible toilet in the main concourse, and in the other area there were 2 accessible loos also. They had a lift up to the stand, and the view was excellent. But would the view be spoilt by people standing in front of it? No, and it really was a great view to watch from. Huddersfield Town was another one that was rated very good. They had to go through the double gates into the concourse area. The wheelchair user area was clearly signed. The concourse was open for all and there was accessible toilets. They had a reasonable size. It seemed to be clean and tidy, which couldn't be said for all grounds. And although there was a ramp up to the viewing area, it did the job. And what a fantastic view once you're inside Huddersfield's ground. West Bromwich Albion was another one. We're very pleased to see their area that was for use by disabled fans. That included a sensory room, an accessible bar area which was very good, and there were 4 accessible toilets, 2 left hand and 2 right hand transfers. And again, the stewards were wonderful at this ground. They had a slightly raised viewing area, but it wasn't spoilt by photographers or stewards, so well done to West Brom. And Middlesbrough. We went through the big gate into a concourse which was open for all. They had accessible toilets, and here again we had a lift up to the viewing platform. There was a good number of places for away fans on the platform, and although our area was kind of cordoned off, we were able to speak with fans, and another great view. So before we announce who we felt gave the best accessibility experience on the day, we need to give out our Pie of the Season award. AccessAdvisr selfishly sampled a Balti Pie in as many grounds as possible. I mean, someone's got to do it. And well done to Huddersfield Town, who were top of the pie chart for their fantastic Balti Pie. And the AccessAdvisr choice for best accessibility experience of the season? Well, it's a clean sweep for Huddersfield Town. We know it's a cliche, but there really was very little to choose between the top 5 grounds. But Huddersfield just edged the top spot for the most inclusive experience for disabled people on the day. Well done, Huddersfield Town. We'll be back doing it all again next season, but we'll be reporting on the Premier League clubs. Will they be Premier League standard? Don't forget to subscribe to find out. Finally, thank you to Mrs. T for tolerating my obsession, Dave B for being my trusty away companion, Riverside Travel for getting us to the matches, and for AFC Bournemouth for laying on the accessible transport.